All right, welcome to another episode of the Terrorisk podcast.
Welcome.
I was just explaining to Brendan how if he dated a black girl and went to the family home for dinner, they'd be like, why is there a social worker at the table? And they'd be like, Mama, that's my boyfriend Brendan. You know him.
No, I did.
I stole that joke. That was a Chris Rock.
But
joke.
I
It was
think
the best
she
joke.
was, I think she was a virgin because when she. So there was this one chick. She was like a model looking. She looked like a fucking model, and there was all these other like bulky fucking like guys hitting on her. So I'm like, I'm not hitting on this bitch. Everyone's hitting on her, right?
Yeah.
And she was singing like I was doing karaoke night in Texas, Denton, Texas, and I was doing my like Beatles and Tool, whatever the fuck
Something
I did.
in
The Doors,
the way
you know, and
she moves.
and I was just doing my own thing. I wasn't planning on anything. And she was getting flirted on by like every dude in the fucking room. And
She wanted that skinny
I was
little white boy.
standoffish. And I think that's what helped. And I had my other friend who worked at the corner store. He was a Puerto Rican dude, big guy. And somehow we were like, oh, I liked your song. You were good. You're like, oh, you were okay too? Yeah. You want to get something to eat? Okay. So we went to the like a diner down the block. And my friend's like, she went to the bathroom. He's like, listen, I'm only being a dick right now because it's going to help. He's like, I'm just going to act like an asshole and you're going to tell me off and she's going to go with you. I'm like, what the fuck's going on right here? He's like, don't worry, trust me. And so he just acts like a belligerent asshole. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? And like eventually, by the end of the night, she's like, so where do you live? You want to just come to my place? I live like a couple blocks away. I'm like, okay. She's like, nothing's going to happen though. Okay.
Yeah.
She brings me back to the house. We sit down. We watch some, like, whatever she likes to watch, like crime shows, maybe a little bit of Doctor Who. I showed her some things. We're sitting there. She's like, okay, it's getting a little bit late. Like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm like, okay. I just, in my clothes, like I would if I was here or some shit, just, like, lay down on the couch. Like, okay, good night. And she's like, are you sleeping on the couch?
She's like taking off her pants. Like, I'm gonna sleep in my panties now.
Yeah,
you better
like,
not come up to me and rub your penis all over my butt.
I was just being like cool. I wasn't trying to be pushy.
You better not try to rub my boobs or anything.
I wasn't trying to be pushy, so I'm like, I'm just sleeping on the couch.
You better not try to kiss the back of my neck.
You can sleep in the bed. And I'm like, okay. And I go lay down in the bed next to her, but like not like touchy. And she's like, you can sleep in your clothes? I'm like, I don't have it. He's like, I'll get you some clothes. I got some pajamas so you can put it on. I'm like, okay, but we're not doing anything. Okay. And I'm like, okay. As I put on the pajamas, I go lay back down like a couple inches away from her at least. I'm like, I'm just gonna go fucking sleep. I'm not trying to do anything. And she's like, and she's really pretty, like, and I'm like, and she's like, well, like, why are you like on that side of the bed? Like, I'm like, we're not gonna do anything, but you don't have to go on the edge of the bed. I'm like, okay, and we did stuff, but like but like she, like, I didn't realize that she was super. This is Texas. I didn't understand this yet. She was like super Christian, and we got to talking about. Sounds like
it sounds like these kinds of people only initiate sex through extremely rapey conditions.
And this is also one of the things I think. Okay,
you guys like yes.
You know how like you know how like girls are like, guy can't find the fucking clitoris, and they don't do a real job. And the females are pretty proactive on being like, you're not doing that right. Guys aren't, I think, as much.
You got a light.
So, so she grabbed my shit, and she's like pulling it. She doesn't know how to. She's like, I'm like, okay, I think I might be able to come this way. Actually, okay, this is kind of uncomfortable, but I'm just gonna. Okay, yeah, there you go, and just let it out. But it was weird. Like, she was like super Christian. I think she was a virgin and never touched a dick before. And it hurt, but I didn't say anything. Females always say something though, and I'm like thinking, like females like, oh, they know how to find the clitoris. I'm like, yo, you don't know how to find the frenulum. You don't know where our fucking spots are, but we don't complain about it, do we? Because we're just happy to be touched most of the time, and we could probably make it, even if it's not that good. Where like a female, it's more complicated.
That's why you got to teach them. You got to teach them how to stroke
But
your
I
dick.
think you don't want to because you don't want to discourage them. If they're doing
no,
something,
no.
if they're giving you a blowjob and it's not great,
No,
you
but
don't want
it's-
to end
look,
the blowjob by being like,
no.
hey,
No, it's not
can
about.
you do it
no,
like
no, no.
this? And they're like,
no,
oh,
it's
I'm sorry. Do I
no,
suck at
it's
this?
not like that. It's like you say, "Can you do it like this?" And then they're like this, and then you're like, "Oh my god, oh fuck, yes, just like." And then they feel good.
I've
again.
done that
Then
before,
they're like,
too.
then they're like, "Oh my god, I'm
But
doing
she
it.
was
I'm doing
so
it. I'm doing it, guys."
virginy, prudy. I'm like, just she was so fucking pretty and hot. And I'm like, there's no way she hasn't fucked around a lot, but she was. It was Texas, so she was sheltered, and like, I didn't want to be the dude, but like, I kind of want to be like, what? I don't have a foreskin. Why are you like? There's nothing to pull. Just you gotta graze it.
You're like, listen, girls out in New York, they know how to stroke a dick. All right, what you're doing is just a travesty.
Yeah, you're not. Do it New York style, bitch.
Do it New York style.
Enough with this Jesus shit. I don't have a foreskin.
I don't
Okay.
want a Southern hand job. I want an East Coast hand job.
Listen, I only do East Coast handies.
From a real nasty
I don't want my dick
woman.
to hurt tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then she kept doing like a really like, ever have somebody who does like a fake English accent all the time, but it's like the worst fake English accent. It's kind of annoying. She kept doing that. Like, oh, hello. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. Texas is calling me. Let's find out.
Oh no. Who the fuck is it? It's probably a conversation I'm gonna have to edit. out.
Hello?
Who
Hello?
is it?
Hi.
Hi, I'm speaking to Dawn.
Wrong
I'm
number.
Brendan.
Wrong number. It's a wrong number.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a good one. Well, at least they weren't a debt collector. It would have gotten messy if it was.
Oh come on.
I hate those fucking bills. Give up. I'm not paying you.
Yeah.
I'm not paying my hospital bill. I'm also not paying my warrant from Texas. I'm just it keeps going up, and I fuck them.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I ran a red light on my bicycle. That motorcycle cop ran 2 red lights and almost killed me in the process of trying to capture me. So fuck him. Fuck Texas. I'm just waiting for them all to die. I wish Mexico would just invade them and kill them all.
Texas?
Yeah.
I think it's the other way around. I think maybe you're right. Maybe Mexico would invade Texas.
It should be Mexico. For one, white people shouldn't live there. It's so fucking hot. Your skin is beet red. We don't have the skin pigment to deal with that kind of weather, and we live there for so like all the smart people from New York went to go to California, right? And we left the dumbasses and the fucking hillbilly fuckers in Texas. A couple of people like, we're gonna stay right here, and we're like, okay, we didn't like you anyway. We just kept on. So the smarter people made it to California. The dumb fucking hillbilly fucking I'm gonna fuck my sister people fucking stayed in Texas. That's what I think. So you have the dumbasses who stayed in Texas. We're white. We're supposed to live by the coast. We're supposed to live by the water, by the wind, by the cold. That's just natural. Like our species is naturally inclined to colder, more temperate climates. Not
Yeah.
fucking Mexico or fucking Texas. Texas is almost Mexico.
Word.
It was a part of Mexico. Actually, this whole thing was fucking Mexico, pretty much. We shouldn't even be here. We should have stayed there and made it better. But we didn't make it better. Instead, we just like left and like killed a bunch of other people. We're not supposed to be here. It
Talking
doesn't
about
make
white
sense.
people?
Yeah. And like Texas proved that to me. I'm like, dude, this weather is. And I see other people walking around like, yeah, man, this is okay, man. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm not supposed to live here. It's like a fucking, something from the rainforest living in New York City or something. You're like, that's not supposed to be here. Like, unless it's like a pet being taken care of somewhere. Like pets, we have to have like houses and air conditioners and shit. Then if people, you just be like, yeah, this is fine. I'm cool with this.
Yeah. Maybe it's just conditioning, like what you're conditioned to.
Yeah, but conditioning is also genetic at the same time, Like Asian people have slanted eyes because, like, of the storms. And sand and shit. Like, that's what eventually made that happen. It protects you. Like, we develop because it protects us defensively. You develop a darker pigment because it's fucking hotter. you're white because it's fucking snowy and cold. That's the only reason for all those things, you know. So it's like being like white in Texas is like you usually beat fucking red.
I think white people are dying out.
Well, everyone's gonna die out eventually. We're all gonna interbreed, and
I'm
eventually
saying,
we're
I'm
just gonna
saying,
be every
I'm
single
saying
race.
the genetic quality.
Like
of,
if we survive 1,000 more years, every person is gonna be English, Irish, German, Puerto Rican, African American.
they're gonna be some kind of brown Asian.
Every fucking race. So
they're gonna be some kind of brown Asian.
yeah.
But honestly, though,
What do you think? If you think every race was mixed,
they're gonna look like
you know
some
how
brown
you mix
Asian.
every color.
They're going to look like some kind of brown Asian.
Is that like when you mix every color in the rainbow and it comes out to brown?
No, I'm going by.
Ever
like,
mix all the paints
no,
as a kid and it's brown?
if you look
no
at
matter
like
what.
if you go like the phenotypical development, you know, like it's literally just darker people with Asians. That's literally all it's gonna be left. Because if you look at like the light skinned pigment, like you know the light skinned pigment, white skinned pigment, that shit is a recessive gene. If you mix a white person and a black person, they don't get any lighter. You know, so like whiteness is recessive.
No, you have like mulatto kind of skin pigments coming out.
I mean, they don't get any whiter than the white parent, basically.
Like someone like Beyonce or some shit.
They will always be darker than the white parent, always.
Oh yeah, because they also have the other gene.
Exactly. So what does that tell you? That the white,
But
is,
they're also lighter than the black parent.
But like again, like it's over time getting darker and darker. It's not getting lighter and lighter. So basically, white people are getting bred out.
Actually, that kind of would make sense because we have global warming, right? Right?
I'm just saying, white people are getting bred out, which I don't care about it either way. I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
pretty,
I don't give a shit.
I'm pretty like whatever about it. But I do. You have to at least recognize. Like,
At this point, eventually, no one's gonna have a culture anyway. It's gonna be just a
I mean,
complete
it's the same deal.
globalization if we survive.
It's the same deal with fair-skinned East Asians. Eventually, there won't be any fair-skinned East Asians either. Everyone will just be some kind of brown Asian mix, which is whatever, you know.
What's up with like some Asians like bleaching their skin though? Like, what is the glorifying of like the whiter skin pigment? Like also like any anime I've seen.
All right. Well, I don't know about on a conscious.
Any anime I've seen is mostly white, blonde hair, blue eyes.
I don't know about a conscious aesthetic, but I do know in terms of like just rarity. Like again, we're talking about a recessive trait, like just like blue eyes, just like blonde hair.
Yeah, I'm on another subject now though about like how like you know American cartoon, it's gonna make the character look very American.
Yeah.
Brown, blonde,
Oh,
whatever,
look,
blue eyes.
I'm just saying, like,
but
like
why do Japanese animes mostly have blonde hair, white skin, blue eyed protagonists?
Yo, because first of all,
Why do they think that's the main protagonist?
if they animated,
Why
all
didn't
them,
they make themselves?
If they
Why didn't they make it
animated-
look
if they
like
did
them?
that, if they did that, the animations were so basic that every character would just look the same. Like think about it. But if they could make the
What?
Dude, what if you look at an anime character, it's just like basically the same basic face with the same basic eyes, and then you put like
yeah,
different
but they
hair on
also
it.
make different white fits. So you're like that's like almost saying thing like if you make them all Asian, they're all gonna look the same because
No.
all Asians look the same.
No, I'm talking.
That's like a very white thing to think.
No, I'm talking about just in terms of style. I'm just the way stylistically Japanese animation works. Have you not noticed how simple it is? Like it's extremely simple shit. You could swap out faces and eyes and hair really easily. That's how they make this. That's why anime gets pumped out to so much.
That doesn't explain to me though. At least to me.
Okay,
it doesn't
so
explain
dude,
why they're always
because
white,
because
blonde, like
by simplicity,
Aryan.
because by simplicity, right? They don't look Aryan. They just literally have different color eyes, like blue eyes and blue jet, like
Yeah, but they have
blue
like
hair.
a lot of blonde hair, brown hair. Like a Super Saiyan has blonde hair, fucking blue eyes, white skin.
Well, that's like a stylistic.
Is there a black Super Saiyan? I never saw one.
No, because first of all, the blonde was supposed to be because the contrasts with their natural state of black hair, like a Saiyan, right? But then when they go Super Saiyan, then it goes, psh, then it's like all blonde. And
But
shit.
that's also making blonde out to be more superior.
No, well, it's supposed to.
In a way.
It's not. It's not. It's,
even
it's,
if it's
no, it's
subconscious.
golden. It's supposed to be golden.
Oh, golden. Okay, gold. Okay, I can see that. Gold's valuable.
And especially in
It
Chinese
still
culture
doesn't make
and shit.
sense to me. It still never made sense to me. I'm like, how is the Japanese cartoon look
It's
like
because
American characters?
It's because you're not understanding how basic Japanese animation is. Where if you really did make them look realistic, what do they look like? You give them all brown eyes and you give them all black hair because all Asians have brown eyes and black hair. So if you did that to anime characters, they would all literally look the same. It would be really hard to tell characters apart. Like you got to.
Wait, every single Asian has black hair.
Yes.
Okay.
And every single Asian has brown eyes, just like how every black person has dark skin. Like there's
So to make Oh shit!
That's what I'm. Do you understand
so
now?
to
Like,
make the characters more diverse,
they have to make them all crazy looking.
which I guess white people have more diverse hair
Yes.
and eyes.
Yes.
That's
white
it.
people, you have
That's
like
the only-
red-haired. We have red-haired white people, blonde-haired
red-haired,
white
blonde,
people,
black, brown, yeah, and everything between.
Yep.
Amber,
Yep. Whereas Asian people all
green
have
eyes, blue eyes, fucking.
Asian people all have black hair and brown eyes. So if you put that on anime, they would all literally have black hair and brown eyes, and they're already basic as fuck looking. So you wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
You know, that's kind of crazy thinking about it. I'm thinking about this right now. I'm thinking about how blue eyes is a recessive gene, right?
Yeah.
But we, for thousands and thousands and thousands, uncountable years, we still have blue eyes. It's because people are fucking and mating with people with blue eyes.
Yeah. A lot of it is inbreeding too.
Yeah, but that means blue eyes is like most people find more attractive. So more people are being attracted to people with blue eyes.
Well,
that's why the gene
all
has
right,
kept
no. Before you,
around for so
Before you
long.
get there, you could use a more ubiquitous term. Like you could say, blue eyes are just more
And for one,
striking.
I've actually
You
never
could
fallen
say,
in love
listen,
with somebody
yo,
with
can you
blue
just
eyes.
stop? Like, listen. Blue eyes are more recessive, therefore they're more striking because they're rarer. Anything
Rare,
that is
okay, the
rare
rarity,
is,
okay,
rarity
alright.
is striking.
Okay.
You get that?
No, I'm
You know,
just
like-
trying to get to the how this happened. You know.
Yeah, but you got to slow
How
down.
can we still have people
You
with
gotta
blue
slow-
eyes
You got
when
to
that's
slow down
recessive?
instead of jumping to assumptions. You got to think about it in the way.
I can jump to an assumption and backtrack.
You got to think about it in ways that least confirm your biases. So we could say like what least confirms my bias is to know that it's logically speaking, it's a rare trait because it's a recessive gene. If it's recessive, it's only going to be more and more rare and more that much more valuable.
Where
you know?
did it
Like,
come from, and then why is it recessive?
Well, that's a whole nother question. I mean, where would blue eyes ever come from? I don't know. Like maybe it's like you said, like people from like colder climates where they would have like X amount of days of night or X amount of days of sunlight, and that's just the way they turn out with those people. They have blue eyes. Like,
I see. Wow. Life is fucking crazy. The way like our bodies develop is fucking wild.
well, we're talking about evolutionary development, right? And it works a lot like capitalism. You know how capitalism, like if you go on like Amazon or Wish.com, you see all these useless products,
Yeah.
like ridiculous shit. Evolution works the same way. You know, you get like spiders with exploding asses or squirrels with wings, and we don't need that shit. But every once in a while, you get opposable thumbs, and shit just works. You know, like it's like very random.
Well, life organically is just shooting in the dark. Like
Exactly,
maybe
yeah.
this will work. Oh, oops.
Yeah, like
That's gonna die.
like throwing darts at a dartboard behind your head. That's basically what evolution.
It's like the platypus. Let's make it real friendly and not afraid of predators.
or more than
you
likely,
know, like it
more
just
than
walks up
likely-
to people like hi, and they're just like,
yeah.
that was easy.
Or it could be like, yo, this worked for like 100 years, but then suddenly this changed in the environment, and then now it's like a whole new thing, and then like it's
Oh yeah,
that one little shift is enough to like.
strength of any species is adaptation.
Yeah.
You know, like I guess humans came from like little rat things that came from the ground that ended up coming to the surface. There was other land predators. We learned how to climb fucking trees, and we developed somehow like to be able to grab things and shit because these things were bigger and stronger than us, and we had to figure shit out.
Yeah.
You know, because still now, like I can't beat the shit out of a lion without a weapon.
Yeah.
Even if it's a sword or something, I have to be good with it. But like, if I went to hand, even if I was skilled with a lion, they'd fucking kill me. I couldn't predict what they're gonna do. Plus, they're a fucking lion or a bear or some shit. So I need to be smart enough to make a gun or run or climb up something or some shit like that.
Yep.
I guess that makes sense. I don't know how we got this evolution kick. It's pretty cool though.
Yep.
Life is fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's all very random and crazy and I don't know, spectacular.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I'm into it. So that's why it's like you realize you're not that important, in the grand scheme of things. You're just a tiny speck.
Well, thank God that's a lot of pressure, Yeah. I've always got, whenever I had a crazy shroom trip, I got into that point where I'm like, nothing matters, but it matters more because it doesn't. Because nothing needs to happen. So everything's novelty. And that's beautiful, I think.
It's a gift.
It's a gift. It's just novelty. Everything is just, have fun with this,
Mm-hmm.
Even like the
Because there's nothing
tragedy-
saying you have to have it. There's nothing
Yeah.
saying you have to be alive.
Yeah,
There's
like,
no law in
that-
this
no,
universe.
I was thinking about that. I think about this all the time, but I was thinking about it prominently today in my head. On the I I hate when somebody's like, oh, I need to, I need a couple bucks so I can get some beer while I'm at the show, right? You don't need that. You don't need anything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to, you need food and water. No, you don't. You don't need to survive.
You don't need to live.
You don't need to live.
If you
Nothing
died-
ever needs to happen. Nothing could have ever happened because it didn't need to. The universe itself, existence, life, whatever you want to call it, God didn't need to happen. Nothing needed to happen in the first place.
But so this
nothing fucking matters,
so
man.
this is where you're
fuck around. That's it.
But this is where your identity really blossoms once you come to terms with you want things. It's like, all right, if I don't need things, then clearly I just want shit. So I've come to terms with that.
The meaning of life is what you fucking make of it.
Yeah.
I remember saying this as a young kid, figuring this out.
And you forgot that for a while.
I was like 7 or something, and I'm like thinking about. I don't know why I was thinking about the meaning of life. My whole life's been an existential crisis, people. But I remember being like, "What's the fucking meaning?" I'm like, because they started talking to me about God and religion, and I'm like, I'd have some adults be like, "Yeah, you can believe it or not," and some adults, "This is real," and I'm like, nobody knows shit. Okay, the adults are conflicted on this subject, so I don't trust them. And I'm like, what's the fucking meaning of this? Why? I'm self-aware. I'm like, the meaning is what you make it. It's your choice. You can make no meaning out of it. You can make a big meaning out of it. You can make a little one. You can make it mean this or that. You can make it.
Well, then what triggers
doing
that?
as much damage as you can. Or you can make it. I want to spread as much love.
But there's a counterweight to that dynamic. It's not all freedom because remember, there's one thing weighing you down. Do you know what it is? It's your mortality. It's the fact that you're not forever. It's the fact that life is what you make it, but life isn't forever. So you have to make it count, at least in your own eyes.
It's a time limit that makes it like that. Ever play a game?
Yeah, like remember in Rick and Morty, that fucking game there, like where you play it through a whole lifetime through a guy in like virtual immersive brain simulation.
Yeah,
I thought that was
you went back to the job after you retired.
That was a good. And then Rick is like,
you went back to the factory after that surgery. Are you fucking serious?
And then he was like, he's taking him off the grid. When Rick started playing, he was like really going in. That's awesome.
Break the game, That
was a good bit.
It's glitches.
That was a good bit.
But yeah, like I play a lot of open world RPGs. Like I'm replaying fucking Skyrim for the 2 billionth time right now. But I also play a lot of I play a lot of RPGs. But like life feels like that. And I wish I could just start a new character all the time. Sometimes.
No, you can't. You gotta start with this character.
Or quick save and maybe reload and I said the wrong thing. Reload.
You know how you gotta look at it? You gotta look at it as if the last 32 years of your life was just the prologue, the intro to the actual game. Now is when the real game starts.
So every day of your life, you got to think the first beginning of it was character creation.
No, I mean you never thought that before. I'm just introducing you to the thought now.
Yeah, but in RPG you can go redo your whole.
No,
character.
but in RPG you don't start as a baby, and then in RPG you start as a character that's actually had some kind of
but if you're 30-something. It means you've already invested these many skill points in that.
No, there's plenty.
You fucked up these many skill
there's
points.
Plenty of games.
Your health isn't high enough. Your stamina's high, and you've already fucked up all your points.
That's not true, though. There's plenty of games that start off with older characters.
Yes, I mean, but you've already fucked up. Okay, 33. That means I've leveled up 33 times. That means
when you play,
I have fucked with my stats and added
of all,
points to different stats.
First of all, you can't look at every year as a level. That's not how this works.
It makes sense.
No, it's detached from that. No, you could spend 5 years without leveling up, or you could level up 5 levels in a single year.
You're right.
You can't look at it like that. It's cheating. No, your levels are detached from your age. It's not how life works. I'm setting the rule now. It's not that kind of mechanic.
You're right. You're right about that. Fuck. Okay.
So the only way is to just gain experience.
You've invested skill points to random things throughout your life.
There's only one thing that'll really solidify leveling up in your life is taking on challenges, winning battles.
If I play Skyrim, right, I set up with a character. I'm like, okay, I'm going to only level up one-handed weapons, shield, and light armor, and maybe archery.
Okay.
and I start a mage character. I'm only going to do alteration magic, destruction magic. I can choose what I'm going to definitely put points into. But in life, you're just like, I want to do this. I want to try this. I want to try that. And then you're just like scattered. And like you might be like, in some RPG games, to make a well-balanced character is the worst idea ever because you don't specialize in anything.
Well,
So by the time you get to that level, all those missions that you have to do, you're not prepared for it because you have some magic, you have some combat skills, you have some survivability.
No, I disagree.
You're not excelling in any one of those.
I think the first playthrough should be a balanced kind of like skill spread.
Yes, but we have one playthrough right now. As Brendan, as Ivan.
Oh, you're talking about real
as
life.
Chris.
Yeah. Okay.
We have one playthrough. We don't get to go like, okay, I fucked up. Let me go back and just redo it.
No, but that's why
I do that a lot.
That's why you need 30 years as a prologue, so you finally learn that, and then you get it. And
so
then you
30 starts the game.
I don't want.
That sounds a little bit.
I don't want to put a hard.
I agree with
for some
that.
people. I think it's when you awaken to the game, right? When you finally acknowledge that you're playing, when you finally admit it to yourself that you're playing, that's when it finally starts. Because you can never not admit that. Like, that's something existential that, like, once you accept that truth, you could lie to yourself and say, oh, I no longer believe life is that. Deep down, you'll know it is. So it's like, maybe you just started it now. For some people, they don't start until they're 60, maybe 40 or 45. Some people actually start it when they're 6. I don't know. Like, everyone's different, right?
Well, hopefully, which I kind of, if anything, reincarnation makes more sense than anything to me. I used to be really spiritual and think that like I knew shit, or really believe in shit. But I think the idea of believing something at this point is folly. It's dumb. The idea of like, oh, I believe in this, that means you don't know it.
I assume in the worst case scenario, so I'll always be pleasantly surprised at least.
Or not. You might just like die and it's just nothing happens.
Well, exactly.
I've passed out before.
That's the worst case scenario.
I've
for me.
passed out and almost died and woke up again in the ambulance, and those moments in between, it wasn't like it's indescribable. I can't describe it because there's
You've
nothing.
lost time.
There's
You've
nothing
lost time.
to describe.
It's like waking up. It's like going to sleep and waking up.
There's no black. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's like waking up. It's like going to sleep and waking up again. It's not like you experience.
Not
sleep.
even. It was more than that. It was like nothing existed. I didn't experience anything.
Yeah.
I didn't experience nothingness because there was no me to experience anything. So I couldn't even be like, wow, a lot of time has passed. There's no concept because I was dead.
Cool.
And it was weird, like being dead. And if that's the case, it's not great, I guess, to think that you just don't exist and you don't have no thoughts, no memories, nothing. At the same time, it's not painful.
Mm-hmm.
Because
imagine you just never woke up.
It's not even like sleep.
Imagine if you just never came back.
Yeah, you're just
gone.
There's no you.
That's what I think death really is.
There's nothing to experience. There's nobody
what,
there to experience anything. There's no experiences.
But I told you this, right?
It's like beyond what you can imagine.
I told you this, right?
Crazy.
I don't believe in an afterlife. Did I not tell you? Remember, I said this all the time. I don't believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell.
I also feel like if energy can't be created or destroyed, something's living.
What are you talking about?
It might not be who you think you are, but something is surviving.
When your body decays into the soil,
but the electricity in your brain disperses.
I'm just saying, that's plenty of energy being dispersed. When your body rots and decomposes into the soil and sprouts new life, it may not be exactly how you imagine it, or you may not, you may think it should be something more significant than that, but it's not.
I don't think consciousness can be destroyed. I don't think consciousness is like. I'm not like trying to like be like religious. Like scientifically, I don't think like I think scientists now are like consciousness itself. Like I have thoughts, right? Thoughts are thoughts. That's a mechanism of the brain, but the conscious awareness behind that has nothing to do with anything that we can fathomably measure. So like that consciousness, where the fuck does it go?
But it could easily.
It's beyond physical space-time.
Let me tell you something that'll really bother you. You look at
Can I grab a beer real quick?
No, wait, it's right behind you anyway. Just for a second. Now I'm gonna tell you something that really fucking bothers you. Basically, imagine a program, right? Writing a program for a computer.
Yeah.
And then just imagine like writing a program within a specific kind of computer. Maybe say a computer, pick up the fucking mic. Maybe say a computer made of meat, right? A meat computer. Okay. And maybe you could write circular code that self-references itself in just the right amount of way to create a kind of loop, a self-fulfilling, self-referential loop. So it creates what we know as consciousness. It could literally just be nothing more than sentient code within a meat computer. You know, like you got to consider that too.
Yes, but at the same time, just that magnificence and of this complicated thing formed out of nothingness almost makes you feel like...
No, you only think it's complicated because it's relative to you. It's not that complicated.
Okay, but why would anything happen in the first place? That's the thing. Nothing could have happened. Why is something happening?
Yeah, but something happened even before humans. There's a lot of things that happened before humans.
But why is anything happening if there isn't some meaning?
So then now we're questioning things beyond even our own existence.
Yes.
We're questioning on things that exist way before us even.
Yeah, why didn't anything happen? There could have just been nothing.
Well, that's a kind of a redundant question.
There could have been not life.
Yeah, but life... Again,
We're living life. That's crazy right now.
Okay, we could... Yeah, but so does
There was
single-cell...
nothing, not even darkness or silence. Beyond that.
Before humans, there were single-celled organisms. There were animals.
I'm saying before that.
Yeah,
before the universe.
But you don't,
before carbon-based life.
But you don't know there was nothing. You don't know there was.
We don't. It's
exactly.
crazy.
So you don't know if there was.
It's crazy.
You don't know if there was.
And we're just here living. We're making a podcast right now. We have things made of plastic and metal and fucking electricity all around us, and this all happened from nothing, no meaning.
Okay.
That's crazy to fathom.
Yeah,
I think that's a
guess.
crazier idea than actually inherent meaning to it or everlasting life. I think that concept of this just happened randomly is way fucking more obscure and absurd than the idea that there is some inherent meaning and consciousness behind everything.
Do you want to hear something crazy? Did you know that like with the new forefront of fucking quantum computing, with that technology, you're able to realistically simulate the birth and the death of an entire universe. An entire universe. Basically, they'll be simulating an entire universe from like beginning to end. They could speed it up, slow it down, whatever. An entire universe, like an actual universe. So who's to say like what that simulated universe is experiencing inside in that world isn't just as real as what we experience? Who's to say our own universe isn't that? Who's to say when we make that universe, someone in that simulated universe creates their own simulated universe?
Yeah, we have no fucking clue.
What if our universes are just nested simulations, one after? In fact, that's actually more probable than anything else, if you think about it. Because
we're alive in some other world, and we're
actually
experiencing this for like half a second, but it feels like 100 fucking years.
Yeah.
And then we wake up and like, oh, can we do another? Okay.
But that's totally a bit in Rick and Morty. You remember where they had that was stolen from a very old theory. You know, it's like it's true. Like there's nothing stopping the idea that our universe could literally be nothing but a simulated universe.
Just the fact that anything like that's possible makes me feel like there's more to life than just living and dying. Like I don't think you just
what that could mean is that there's things that we don't understand yet. Like when it comes to the quantum realm.
I feel like there has to be some kind of inherent meaning.
No. See, you just contradicted yourself.
Why would things just randomly happen?
You just contradicted yourself. You were like,
I am.
There's no inherent.
Of course, I'm going to contradict myself. This is beyond human comprehension.
So then you got to like decide, like, what do you believe? Do you believe there is
belief? Is I can believe whatever I want, but that doesn't mean I'm right.
What is your belief?
That's why I don't understand like hyper religious people, because I'm like, it's good to have faith, right? That's nice, and you have morals and shit. But like, to say like, I believe in this, okay. But I've heard Christians say, I know that Jesus is like you don't, you can't know anything. I don't even know if that fucking wall is actually white or brown. I'm just basing it on my perception at the time. I might be fucking crazy. Like, to not always question that you might be fucking crazy is crazy to me. If you if you think you know that Jesus died on the cross for 3 days, came back, and fucking is God and Lord and Savior and everything in the Bible really happened, that's pure insanity. That's not insanity. It's delusional. It's crazy to me. I love religion and I'm really into theology, but to say I know anything is the most ignorant fucking thing I could fucking think of. To say I know something to a fucking T, even if it's a logical fucking fact that relies on the laws of fucking mathematics and nature. I'm only basing this on what other people told me and my own logic, which is very limited because I came from the fucking earth and I'm gonna die in the earth. How do I know shit? I can't know.
There are some things you can know better than others.
I know how to. If I do this, if I think, I don't even know how my hand's moving. I'm somehow controlling this, but I'm not, because I'm not controlling my heart. I'm not controlling my ass. I'm not controlling my gut. I'm not controlling my brain. I make suggestions to the brain. The brain, if I go to sleep and don't make suggestions, will just come up with its own shit. That means this thing's on autopilot all the time. I can make a suggestion. Please don't think about this. Think about this. The brain might say, no. Think about the sad shit that happened today. But I don't want to feel this right now. I want to think about something nice. No, we're thinking about this right now.
You keep personifying the brain like it's this person. Like it's a whole person that makes
I don't feel like... Because we're not in control of our own heart or our lungs.
That's not how it works.
I can manually...
That's not how it works.
You can choose to think and manually control your thoughts. Just like you can... manually control your breath, but when you're not doing it, it will do it on its own. It'll let you take the reins for a little bit, but ultimately your lungs, your heart, your brain will make decisions when you're not making decisions for it. Mm-hmm. If I'm not thinking about breathing, I'm still breathing. It's doing it automatically.
Yeah.
I'm not in control of 99% of my existence. Nobody is, I don't think. We're under the whims of what's going to happen in nature outside of us, and also under the whims of what's going to happen inside of us.
But that's not true. You are in control.
I wouldn't decide to have
you
cancer.
Do have a you have an element of control. You're just not seeing it.
Very small. I feel it's very small.
So then what is it? What's the one thing you have control over? Do you know?
Well, I could go like this. Right?
No.
That wasn't automatic.
No. Look, listen. You're wrong. Let me tell you what the answer is. You could pick up a gun, you could put it to your head, and you could pull the fucking trigger. Yes. That is the one, and that's why people do it, because that's how you know you have control.
It takes a lot. The brain is your head is going to resist that mostly at all costs. Life has to be so fucking bad to where you do that. If somebody kills themselves, they're in a lot of pain, man. They're in so much fucking pain. They're in unimaginable pain. It has to be so fucking bad emotionally that you want to fucking end it.
And then you think about it. It's like,
and you don't know what's going to happen once you pull the trigger. You don't know if there's an afterlife or not. You're just going to do it just because it sucks so much.
Enough with the hyperbole. Listen. Eventually, you get to a point where, like, you think about how, like, people in the wilderness had it way worse than a suicidal in the modern world person had it. The person in the wilderness didn't know where their next fucking meal was going to come from. But did they push the button on themselves? No, that's more of a modern element, isn't it?
Yeah, because they were under instinct of eating and living. They didn't have time.
It was a pure existence.
Yeah, it's a pure, like an animal. Yes, but like, we can sit here. We're already fed. We're not going to starve. Even if we don't have a lot of money,
so you get to a point. If you get to a point where you honestly feel like killing yourself, you probably lost the plot. About like you probably lost some context, perspective there. Like.
Well, that would mean that you have all your natural needs met.
Exactly, and then now you have time for like shit that can bother you.
Now you have
like,
other things like I wish I fell in love. I wish I could make great art, and when you can't, you kill yourself.
Yeah.
They didn't like my art. She left me.
They're not even thinking about it. Say, oh, well, at least I could go to a supermarket and buy food and shit and not have to hunt and kill.
But that's also the thing. Like, people who are like poor, like, people. I watch people play the lottery all the times. These people should have killed themselves a while ago. Yeah. But they go because they have a dream. They have something to look forward to. That's why you see a lot of celebrities, I think, kill themselves. But because they already have it all and they're still not satisfied. There's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing they can get more to satisfy themselves. So they're like, wow, I'm at the end of the road. I can't buy anything more to satisfy myself, and I still feel like shit.
Or how about this?
But the poor people think, well, maybe one day. If I get this, and that, I will actually be happy. So they have a goal.
What you're failing to consider is like it's not just about like being at the end of the road. For some rich people, it's like let's say they go through some immense trauma, like their dad almost killed them and beat the shit out of them so hard, and then they went on to become famous and rich, and then they realize no matter how rich and famous I get, No matter how fucking successful I get, no matter how much people adore me, no matter how much people say they love me and treat me
I
well,
still hate it.
I still remember that. I still feel like shit. I still feel pain. I still feel that memory of getting abused like that, and it follows them for the rest of their lives. No matter how good they do, they still feel
that happens too.
It's like
Probably.
so that's when they're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking kill myself. Because then there's no way out at that point. If
But I
I'm
was
rich
saying-
and I have everything I could ever want that money could ever buy, I have all the support I could ever need, and it's still not helping. Might as well just fucking.
But that's
kill
why
myself.
those like what you would call the bottom of the barrel of the society people who have like a garbage bag as one of their fucking car windows, and you're like, why aren't they dead? They don't kill themselves because they think, oh man, but what if I win the lottery next week? And then I can really live. I'm really gonna enjoy life. And they think that if they had this, and that, they don't have it yet. So they always have hope. Where the people who have it all, they had hope at first. They got this, and that, and they're like, what the fuck? Why do I still feel like this?
So
oh
then-
my God, there's no way out of
So
this.
then can't you see the answer? Isn't the answer staring right in front of you? It's like people live their lives expecting someday I'll live a life of comfort. You know, like I'll live a life where I don't have to worry about anything, but that's what kills you. Realistically, you have to be stressed. We are primed to be stressed out. It's okay to be stressed out. It's okay to constantly be working towards something.
Can it not be stress? Can it be like something more positive? Like
No, because stress keeps you diligent, and diligence keeps you alive.
Stress is not like the very word stress means anxiety to me, and then that means
Anxiety isn't terrible, like, dude.
Scientifically, though, that's detrimental to your health.
No, it's
now,
not.
you can have
You could have crippling anxiety, but you could have crippling fear. You could have crippling embarrassment. You could have crippling hysteria. You could have crippling depression. You could have crippling every emotion along the whole spectrum is bad for you if it's too much. Yes, but they all have their uses. They all have their places. So does anxiety. Anxiety has its fucking place, and it can be leveraged for good.
Word for it when you want to do something. Your determination. I think determination is better than I think that's the healthy version of anxiety.
Yes.
Instead of saying anxiety, I would rather say determination.
Yes.
I'm gonna get this next
Or
thing.
I'm fucking excited. Like,
Yes. So don't say anxiety.
I'm fired up.
Anxiety isn't what helps us. I think determination is. And when you did everything, sometimes people say, I achieved all this, and this. There's nothing else I'm going to be able to achieve on this planet that's going to make me feel better.
But there's always another challenge.
And there's no like.
But
And
that's
like,
not true. There's always another challenge. There's always another challenge. Remember what I told you about swordsmanship? I told you that I love it because it's one of those things I could do for 8 years or 80 years, and there'll still be more.
Yeah,
to learn.
eventually you want to fight somebody to the death. You know,
No.
that's what you told me.
I said I don't even know. I said maybe if I got that good, but I still think like even if I never did that, I could do it for 8 years or 80 years, and there'll still be something more to learn. There's things out there that are bigger than you, that are bigger than your puny little lifespan. You know, there's things out there that you literally immerse yourself in for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but all those things also.
You're just scared to jump into something.
It's
you
human
know?
created, though. We invented
So what?
these things.
So what? It's more like human manifested. It's not
But
like.
that's also amazing. Like that's like,
So
how
what?
is there not a meaning to this life? If all these things, you're gonna call it random. You're gonna call this random.
Yeah, I am gonna call it random.
You're gonna call me and you as physical fucking beings sitting here, everything around us random,
Yes.
and it has no inherent meaning at all.
Yes.
Why does it exist in the first place then?
Because it can.
All right, you got me. But it's still kind of crazy. It's
Yeah,
trippy.
It's 100%
It's fucking
trippy.
trippy.
It's very trippy. Yeah, but it's still random.
But then that means this can always happen.
Yes.
So that means there's no end.
Not really. I guess not. But at the same time, you gotta.
Because if this didn't happen, that means there would only be nothing.
But
which
it's
would
but
be
it,
nothing.
but it's
There
only.
doesn't have to be anything.
But it's only.
The concept of nothing is like I think about it and it almost like gets me, but I can't actually wrap my head around.
But
it.
let me introduce you
Can
to.
you think about nothing? No.
Let me
It's
introduce.
impossible.
Let me introduce you. Like, there's one thing that makes it worth it. This is why beauty is important. Aesthetics. Aesthetics.
Yeah, why is there beauty though?
Or no, let's think about beauty.
That
Beauty is
gives
very
it
important.
meaning.
Yes,
There's inherent
yes.
meaning.
Beauty is more pure to me than morality, than fucking evil, good and evil, than fucking.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Beauty is literally the core. Everything politics, everything is downstream. At the ultimately downstream from what in the end what people find beautiful.
Well, there was one thing with Buddha where there was like a sermon from him or whatever the fuck they called it, and everyone came there to hear a lecture, and Buddha was just held a flower up and just went, and he stood there for like 3-4 hours, and there was like only one guy in the crowd who was like, fucking awesome.
Talking to the mic, man.
Everyone else was like, what the fuck? And they just left. And Buddha was like, this guy gets it. And he's like, yeah, man. That's just a Buddha story. But, like, yeah, Buddha, one lecture, he was just, supposedly, it's probably a fictional character, but, like, I don't know. But he just held up a flower and just,
Okay.
for, like, 4 hours and just stood there until everyone left but, like, one dude. And he's just like, you get it.
All right,
You
that's pretty stupid still.
That's fucking relevant.
I don't care about it. I mean, yeah, I agree it's relevant. I still don't give a shit. What I think,
Look
though,
it up.
What I think, though, is like, again, like beauty is very important. Beauty is ultimately like the meaning of life for people. Because different people find different things beautiful. If you really want to determine what a person's life really is about, figure out what they think is beautiful. Because everyone's going to have their own idea and perspective on what exactly they find beautiful. To them, if you look at a person's political beliefs, their biases, their prejudices, it really all boils down to what they think is beautiful. Some people think a beautiful world is a world where like white people don't exist. Some people think a beautiful world is where they have $1 billion. Some people think a beautiful world is where black people don't exist. You know, it's like everyone's got their own idea of what a beautiful world looks like.
Yeah, but I think that's art. Like art, that's what makes art the most important thing on the planet.
And this is why I think war is the highest art form with the highest stakes, using the most elements of this planet, of reality.
It is an art, but I don't think it's the highest.
It is the highest art form because that literally shapes the course of reality. War is something that every human being participates in.
You're right. We're straight. It's like. Oh shit! You're right. It's
war
like
is the ultimate.
It's
art
like
form.
a carving block.
Exactly.
But
You're
people.
You're eliminating pieces that you don't want to see there, like the way a fucking sculptor chisels away at marble, and you're using every element: bone, flesh, mud, air, sea, earth, fire, everything. War is the highest art form that wherever.
That means that life is art. That's all it is.
Yes.
That's
and
beautiful.
war is just like one form of that kind of like altering art, It alters life itself, the fabric of reality itself. That is war. That is why war is the highest form of art.
That also makes me
It's
feel,
the worst. It's terrible. I hate
all these
war,
things
but
that I think about like this, philosophize about, make it impossible to be completely atheist to me. I can be agnostic, but it makes it impossible for me to completely go, nothing happens when you die. I
think
don't
nothing
know,
happens when you
for
die.
one.
I think there's nothing,
No one knows.
I think
for
there's
one.
nothing more complete and perfect than death in and of itself. And for it to end right then and there, I think that makes
Everything that you didn't happen, it's like it didn't because to you it didn't because there's no you anymore.
Exactly. But there's the ripples you make. For example, me dropping this lighter, that's my fucking legacy. That inadvertently is going to create some kind of ripple effect.
Is that like the Mandela?
Yeah,
Where they make
well,
this
I don't
beautiful
know.
fucking art form, the Buddhist monks,
Didn't you
and
see,
then they
like-
just wipe it away.
Didn't you see the fucking butterfly effect of that stupid fucking movie? But yeah, that's exactly how it works. It's like you step on a blade. Remember there's always that old like trope how if you went
No,
back in time,
a Mandela is a form of meditation that the Buddhist monks do. So they make this beautiful. It takes days. This beautiful, elaborate, like art form in sand, really
Okay.
delicate, days and days, and then the moment they finish it, the master comes and goes, whoosh, and just fucking destroys it,
Okay.
and just finishes it, and they just like okay.
Yeah.
And that's like a form of their meditation to like work so hard on something and then just boop, it doesn't exist anymore.
That's fine.
And
If that's something.
there's some hidden meaning in that.
Okay.
We could probably figure it out if we meditated on it, but I'm
Wait,
not
hold
going to
on.
meditate. I'm going to probably keep drinking beers and philosophizing about shit that I really
Did you ever go to India?
have no control over. What?
Did you ever go to India?
Yeah.
Talk to the mic. Tell them how you.
I would go to India. I'm also diabetic and I make shit money. So I don't see myself traveling anytime soon. I would have a lot of preparations, a little bit more than most of you, most people. And I have no money.
Money,
You want
money,
to send
money.
me some? I don't fucking know. I need some insulin.
Yeah.
Diabetes is a bitch.
Yeah, I got a
Born
couple.
with a lot of limitations.
I got a few different irons in the fire. I got the. I mean, if anything that I did ever realistically get like public acclaim or attention, then I would divert it to all the other things I do. Like, if I got big in music, if I got like a substantial amount of followers, I would be like, hey, you want to see what I'm like in a podcast? And then I would plug the podcast, and that would get its own traction, you know? That's why I do like work so hard at the multiple things that I do, because, you know, you never know when it only takes one thing to work out for the dominoes to fall, you know?
Would you like a weed gummy?
No, I'm good.
We have a bunch of defectives we meet at
Oh, well, I
PCBs.
mean, I'll take them for later, but I can't eat one right now on the podcast. Like, I'll be too fucked up. I can't.
Okay.
Gummies, like really rock me.
Yeah, me too. These new ones were pretty good.
Yeah, you can't be eating gummies on the podcast, man. That's how you get, like, too fucked up. You get really fucked up, man. I think I have a higher tolerance than you. Like, it's weird. I didn't think that at all. I was like, you know.
It hits you differently. PCBs makes good gummies, though.
No. I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about, like, alcohol, too.
You know, I never believed in crossfaded.
Uh-huh.
But as I got older, I'm like, you get crossfaded. It's like mixing them. They do interact, I think.
I just know that, like, lately I've been drinking more than you, and I've been, like, fine, and you've been gone, like, puking and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like when?
No,
On St. Patrick's Day, I had like 14 Guinnesses. On the day at the show, I had a lot of booze, I think.
All right.
I was
all right.
pretty good at the
so
show,
that day,
though.
that
I
day,
didn't get,
so
like,
that day you had
wasted,
14
wasted.
Guinnesses?
But at the day at the Irish Brigade show, dude, I don't remember most of it. I had Guinnesses. I had those baby Guinness shots. I did some car bombs with you. And then Seamus told me I tried to fight some guy.
Yeah, that day. I drank more than you that day, too, because I remember before I showed up to meet you, I was at the dojo, and we drank a lot at the dojo. We were drinking, like, whiskey shots and shit and, like, tequila. And then I met up with you, and then I drank even more. We had the car bombs. We had all that shit. And I was still... I drove you guys... I probably shouldn't admit that.
Yeah, but I'm
but
not.
Yeah, I drove you guys home. Like,
if you're insinuating, I'm not eating gummies like throughout the day.
No. I'm just saying, like...
I'm not like getting hot throughout the day.
I'm just saying it's crazy how, like, even, like, I have a higher tolerance than you with booze now, because it wasn't like that before.
Maybe it's the fucking diabetes. I have no fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah, that could be the case.
No, I've been good last couple times I went out. There was no like big issues. That night was fucked though. I still have a bruised rib. I still have like scabs and shit all over my body from like whatever I fell. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I feel that. Oh man. What I gotta do is I gotta keep working on music. I'm trying to drop an album with that singer.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, I gotta do a podcast episode with her at least once. She knows who you are. She's been to a couple of your shows, I think.
Which one?
Lucky
Ben?
Fucks.
Oh, really?
Probably, yeah.
I thought she was like way younger or something.
No, she's like exactly the same age as me. I told you, dude. I've known this girl for years.
Oh, so
like,
that's Asian shit. You all look younger.
I guess, yeah.
To do.
Maybe.
White people age like shit.
Yeah.
Like we just like avocados.
Kinda, yeah. It's all good in the hood, though. I don't know. I guess white people weren't really built to live past, like, fucking 17.
Yeah, we're now just eating boiled fucking bread. Just
Yeah.
farming. I don't fucking know. I don't know what the fuck we were doing. I don't know. I don't even think we should anyone should be even affiliated with their own race because like
Fuck you.
We weren't
being
there.
Asian. I like being Asian. I like being Korean. Where's your
we
vape?
weren't there. I wasn't there. It's like we're just new people.
Where's your vape at?
Everyone's just you gonna hit my vape,
Yeah.
bro?
I can't find my vape. I think I left it in the car like a dick.
Boom.
Oh, that's what I need. Some vaporized nicotine.
Does it taste good to you?
Not really, but I could taste the nicotine, so it's great. That's all I care about. I'm not vaping for it to taste good. I'm vaping
I
to
like it when it tastes good though.
I'm vaping to
like-
satiate my fucking cravings, man.
Like if you're like a dumbass or something like me, you know, you'll drink some shit that doesn't taste good to get drunk, but don't you want it to? Don't you want it to taste okay? Do you want to enjoy it too? Like, I don't know.
No, it's really once it start tasting.
It's like coming without enjoying
No,
like the
it's-
process.
once it's like starts tasting like sweet and shit. I don't know. It's like it loses class to me. I like the acquired taste of cigarettes, of tobacco. You know, nothing will ever beat a
Oh,
cigarette.
you don't
to
like
me.
the fruity flavor?
I don't like any flavor at all. But
I
at
like
the same time,
that's what makes it better than cigarettes to me. Sometimes
no.
It's
What
like,
makes it better?
it's like I'm like
No.
inhaling on watermelon.
No, what makes it better than cigarettes to me is that I'm not directly inhaling carcinogens and like products of like actual
We don't
combustion,
know
like smoke.
anything yet.
Dude, it's not like inhaling like burning fucking like, you know, like fire fucking smoke, you know? It's not like that.
I don't know. It might. I don't
It's
know.
not all right, first of all, I'm not saying
It
it's
shit makes me cough more than a fucking cigarette.
first of all, I'm not saying vapes are that much healthier, but I will say like vapes will make you do it less. Like the act of inhaling like shit.
I vape more when I have a vape than I smoke cigarettes. I'll just sit there in my bed, play video games, and just.
All right, how long would a vape last you?
What?
How-
I don't know because I just buy bottles of juice and refill my tank, and buy like every once in a while if it gets nasty, I just get a new tank. I don't buy disposables.
I think one vape cost me something like $17, maybe $20 or some shit.
I run through those so quick.
And then it lasts me for like 3 weeks. That's a long time. Compared to buying a pack, like a pack would last me like a couple days and it would be like $13. If I like, yo, come on. It's like no comparison. All right, fine.
Wait, do you have a refillable one?
No, I have disposable vapes.
And they last you 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks, yeah.
I'm hitting this all day. All the time at work. Every time I take a piss.
Yeah. So the disposable, I pay
Disposables, they last me like 3 days.
Well, fuck.
They taste great though, but they last like 3 days.
I don't know. The ones I get last me for like a long time. The rechargeable ones do anyway. Damn, you're getting drunk. You got hiccups. We got the hiccups, Brendan, here.
Hiccups are normal. I had a cheeseburger.
Yo, so what do you think about the music stuff I've been doing lately? You
What about it?
You like it?
Yeah, I've been liking it.
I think we're trying to get an album together.
Are you gonna play that shit at the event at the show?
No, I'm gonna DJ at the show. I'm not a band for that thing. I'm just
Wait,
tomorrow.
you don't play your own music when you DJ?
No.
Oh, why not?
It's
Like do some covers, do your own shit, mix it up.
I don't want to use my music for that. I want to use my original. If I DJ'd my own originals, I'd want it to be like the whole set of my originals. I don't want to, I don't want to mix my original tracks with like other people's music. If it's other people's music, then I'll spin other people's tracks. But if it's my music, I want a whole set of just my music,
Why? It's always cool to mix covers, like influences and things you like.
Nah, because like I'm just
Like
not
it's a
into.
very common punk band thing to do.
No, I'm just not into it. Like it's different for me.
Most punk bands will play like a bunch of their own songs and throw in like 2 of their like influences and like bands they
Yeah, that's fine and all, but it's just like for me, it would be like cheap. It would be like an easy way out. I'd be like, fuck that. I want to do it. I want to do it all the way.
You can do a rendition of it.
Nah.
You can like make it your own a little bit.
Yeah, so I'd have to make a remix. That's still. Yo, can you speak into the fucking mic? Like, stop liberally putting the mic down, dude. Thank you. That has to take priority over the beer, over everything. All right. Cheers, though.
Falsus. No.
I mean, come on. This is for the people listening, right? Well, at least while we're recording.
They love this shit.
Yeah. So if I keep doing the music, I gotta promote it properly, and I'll put some attention onto the podcast. I'll be like, hey, you could listen to the podcast, and it'll get us some views, and maybe I gotta figure out how to put a tip jar on these videos too.
Word?
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm keen.
Do you have any closing statements?
Closing statements.
Oh wait. Are you doing anything with music on your end? Are you trying to get your?
I've been playing more lately. I think I get depressed in the winter. I recently went to the beach and played.
Mm-hmm.
Met a couple people, played a lot of songs, and made some money. I was going to do that show with you. I may or may not actually do it, but Mom's been getting on me about like learning certain songs that she thinks good for me, and I wasn't listening to her. And finally, like came around. I'm like, all right, you're fucking right, Mom. This is a good song for me to like play and do. So I've been learning more songs, and like rehashing some old shit that I used to come up with. So I guess I'm trying. I don't know.
Cool. I don't know. Maybe I'll get the hardware out and do some shit with you sometime. Like,
I'm keen. I want to record more things. Actually, I really do.
Cause like
I like piece by piece. Like do this ditty, and like overdo this on the top of it, and like make a couple of recordings.
do you know how to do that stuff?
You do.
I do.
I just know how to play the things.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I could jam with you sometime. Do you know how to
I
play?
want to record at the beach, but I want to record it at the beach. Like I want to hear the. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
Like I want to hear like the fucking beach in the background of the song.
What if you just what if I just spliced in sounds from the beach?
No, it has to be Midland Beach. Like I don't care what they know on the other side of listening to it, but I know I want it to be the sounds of Midland Beach, my beach, the beach that I live about.
Wow. What if you recorded sounds from the beach and then layered it over actual
I
recording?
can, yeah, that's acceptable.
All right. See, we could always find a workaround. We could always find a workaround.
But why? But I also want to do like maybe at least one like. So I want to do a live recording there of just me and acoustic guitar and shit. You know, then maybe do it a more advanced version afterwards. But like I want to do a really raw as fuck version.
Well, here's the thing about raw recordings like that. You have to be good. Like really, you have to do it really good.
Yeah,
Like,
so I just practice, make sure I got it perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe if I fuck up a take, do another take. You
Yeah,
know?
you'd have to be prepared to like sit there for like over and over and do it over and over
Yeah.
and over again until you get it right.
I can do that. To get that done, yes, I would do that.
So that's-
because that's a song that anytime.
But just because you do, you'd have to do that. That
anytime
means I'd have to sit
I'll do
there
it
for
on the
take
show
after
soon.
take after
But
take.
anytime I play that for anyone, when I'm busking or anything, they're like, "That sounds like a fucking hit song." Like I that's stuck in my head now. People come up.
Can you
like,
write your own songs? Like, is that possible, or can I help you write songs?
I At the Beach is my own song.
Oh yeah, that's right. Can you write more songs?
I can write a lot more songs. I wrote a lot of songs.
Cool. You should. That's what you should do.
Yeah, it's getting close to that time. I feel like writing a song to me is like taking a shit though. I can't just force it. Like I just when that feeling comes, I go to the bowl and poop. You know?
Do a little poopy action.
Yeah. It's like taking a shit. It's not like it's because I have like I've never written songs when I was completely content. I was just so happy. Like that didn't make a lot of music. It was when I was like shit was going on, drama.
For sure.
And I was able to like you know, I had to heal, so I had to write it, and I had to make a song. If I don't have to heal, it's like I can't write a song. Like my heart has to be broken a little bit, like it's something I don't fucking know. It sucks. It's like you have to suffer to make something good.
Don't you think you've suffered enough in your life to have like a whole pool to write about?
Yeah, but I'm not. When I was younger, I was more seeing in black and white and very convicted. And now as I get older, it's kind of like nothing's black and white anymore. So it's hard to have like really strong convictions. So I'm like, I don't fucking know.
You could
Like
have,
I'm humbled enough to be like,
could-
I don't fucking
You
know.
could have it satirically, like write a
Yeah.
satirical song.
So I have to
about
write differently now. So I have to figure out how to write a little bit differently and like approach it differently rather than being like, I know this is the truth, rather than like, you know, like
It's like, oh yeah,
I'm
this is
wondering
definitely
about
the
this
truth.
shit, you know, like
No, you should just be like, oh yeah, this is definitely the truth.
just be a cunt.
Yeah. I mean, because like people will get it. If they're smart, they'll get it. They'll be like, oh, okay, you know, like it's fine, as long as.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I write a lot of. I have written a lot of like sarcastic kind of like offhand things that like I'm like some people will actually take this literally.
Yeah.
When like the smarter people will be like, oh, I see what he's doing there. He's playing the role as this person. Like a lot of punk songs, you'll like, you know, like I'm like this, I'm like that, but you're actually speaking from the point of view of somebody that you're speaking about.
Yeah, like Stan and Eminem.
Yeah.
That Eminem song.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a
yeah.
good song. It's probably one of the best songs ever written.
Yeah, it's good. Like and like people like take you seriously sometimes because they're stupid. So like, oh, this is how you feel. It's like I'm like, you listen to like the Beatles, like Nowhere Man or something like that. They write songs about characters they created in their mind that have to do with somebody or a congregation of people they have met in their lives.
Yeah.
And they make a song about this specific type of person they have in mind. It's not them, you know.
Yeah. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode. Yeah. I guess good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Boom.